Alright, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is open up Unity Hub. And once it's open, you're going to click this blue New button right here. We're going to make a 3D game, so make sure that 3D is selected. And then for project name right here, let's call this First Person Shooter, because that is what type of project we will be making. So you might be wondering, what is Unity? Well, Unity is a 3D video game engine. And what's a game engine? So a game engine is a software development environment, usually in 2D or 3D space, where you can make a video game, essentially. It has all the tools built in for the physics and collision handling, the graphics rendering engine, the audio rendering engine, the networking, AI, cinematics, animations, everything else that you can think of are all built into this tool. So let's take a look at what we got here. So the first thing is this project folder down here. So your project folder contains all of your assets for your game. Things such as 3D models, textures, materials, levels, audio, everything else that you can think of are all in this project folder down here. Now, you might notice right next to where it says project right here, there's also this tab here that says console. So the console is the area in Unity. This window here will show you all of the errors in the game and any output from your scripts that are being saved into logs. You can switch between these two, and you can even drag these around and kind of move them around, but we're going to keep this default layout and keep it down here. You're not going to need the console for I don't think for the first few lessons here. So let's keep this in the project view right here. Now, this big area in the middle, this is the viewport. This is your eyes into the game. This is where you can edit, manipulate, and add, delete, create, destroy everything in your level. We'll go into navigating around in this viewport in the next lesson, but for right now, just know this is your view of the current level that you're working in. The tab for that is right here where it says Scene. Now, right next to that, there's this other tab that says Game. So this is your player's eyes into the game. When you press the play button, which is all the way up here, this is what the player will see. Right now, they see nothing but the sky because that's all we have in the level. Now, right next to the play button, there's also this pause button. When you're playing the game, you can pause it, and you can click this frame skip button to go frame by frame through the game in case you need to debug something in it. Now, on the left side, oh, and by the way, you can't move around or edit anything in the game views, so we're going to stay on the scene view so that we can still look around. Now, on the left side here, you have the hierarchy. So the hierarchy is a list of all of the objects that are in your scene. Right now, we only have two, which are the main camera and the directional light, and we'll go into these in a future lesson on what they do. Now, if you ever get lost somewhere in your scene and you don't know where you are, you can simply double-click an object and it'll frame it in the center of the viewport. And you can even, let's say you have hundreds or thousands of objects over here and you need to find where the camera is. There's this little search bar right here, and we can just search for the word camera. You'll see that the whole viewport turns gray, and only objects that have the word camera in them are going to show up. So you can double click that again to get back to where it is. Now, to get rid of all this weird gray stuff in the viewport, you can click this little X right here to get rid of that. Now, on the right side over here, we have the inspector. So whichever object that you currently have selected in your scene is going to have all of the options, components, and anything else about it are going to be in the inspector over here on the right. So you can see right here it says main camera, and then there's this camera component and an audio listener. If I click on the directional light, you'll see this will change. This is now the directional light, and we have this light component on it. Up here in the very top left, we have the toolbars. So these are various tools that you can use to navigate and manipulate objects in your level. And we are going to go over how to use these tools in the next lesson. So, let's review. A game engine is a software development environment made specifically for making video games. A game engine includes a rendering engine for graphics, a physics rendering engine, input handling system, an audio rendering system, and any other video game related tools that you can think of. A scene view is the edit mode of your project. This is the interactive full view of the entire level that you're currently working on. The game view is your player's eyes in the game. This is a non-interactive view, but is the final rendered view of what the player will see when you press play. The inspector window displays detailed information about the currently selected game object. The assets folder or project folder contains all of the assets such as 3D models, textures, levels, and audio that you're going to use in your game. The toolbar contains various tools and options for editing objects in your game and navigating through the viewport. The console window will display any output from your scripts in the game and will show any errors that Unity currently has. So in the next lesson, we're going to go over navigating through the viewport, adding new game objects, and rescaling, moving, rotating, and adding physics to those said game objects. See you next time.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, do give us a thumbs up and share it. Also check out amazing discounts and offers on our premium courses in the description below.